But right now I'm sitting here in the Outer Heaven studios with Nacho Dung.
Yes, sir.
Were you born Nacho Dung, or did you
No,
create Nacho Dung?
I created Nacho Dung. He's become like my outro ego, you know. The whole story behind him is when in high school I used to write stories, and my first main character was Nacho Dung. I don't know why I chose it, but once I started doing art, I wanted like a different name, so I kind of went back and I was like, when did I first like use my creativity to create things out of nothing? So I went back to my first character, which was Nacho Dung, who was like he was like an alcoholic superhero, and it's the whole story. But I mean, like he had a sidekick.
Tell me the whole story.
Well, he was the alcoholic superhero.
Try not to hit the table.
Oh, okay.
No, you're good.
And people would call him like if there's an emergency or something, and he was always like he would go shit faced to the scene of the crime. His weapon was a dildonator, which is like a vibrator. We cuss, right, or whatever. Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he had a sidekick, which was Ice Turd, which was a penguin. It was a penguin that didn't talk, but he didn't get introduced until the second. I think I did like 6 stories. They were very like horrible, but I found them, and I even drew them like digitally using Windows Paint. Have you heard of that program?
Yeah.
The old school one.
Yeah.
And I would draw the characters, and they looked like exactly kind of like South Park characters, because you just use this basic like circles. And this was before South Park, because this was like in '90. I didn't even know when South Park started. But when I saw South Park, I was like, oh shit, it's like the same.
So you created the Nacho Dung kind of makeshift cartoon / comic before South Park.
I think so. I believe so.
How old were you? This is like 97, 98.
I don't know. When did South Park start?
I think South Park started in 97, 98, I think.
Okay.
Come a little closer.
It must have been like 98. Maybe it was like the same. I don't know, but that was just similar. It was like cool.
Wow.
But anyway, so like once I started doing art, I wanted a different name, so I chose Nacho Dung, and it made more sense now, because I mean like people tell me, why Nacho Dung, and I'm like, well, nachos represent like my Mexican American like roots culture, and like nachos were like introduced to the States like in the early 20s by like the Mexican folks, and now it's like worldwide. Like everyone knows nachos. You go to Russia and people know what nachos are, you know. So it's very easy to remember, and it kind of ties down my Mexican American roots. Being like, I was born here in the Valley in San Juan, but I was raised in Washington State. So so that ties that, and then the dung part. Well, dung is like poop, so it's like my shit. It's my art. It's what I create, you know. Yeah. So I tie that shit together, and then Nacho Dung.
Is it important to you to protect the mystique?
The mystique? Nah. I mean, I see it like the right side, left side of the brain. The creative, crazy part is Nacho Dung, and the other one's just like.
Are your parents still around?
Yeah.
What do they think about Nacho Dung?
They don't really like. I mean, they know what my art's about, but I mean, like, they just kind of don't get it.
You don't think they Google you?
Nah, I don't think they Google me.
Something tells me they do.
Nah, they're old school. They're like.
Oh, okay. They're like, I'm not really sure they know what Google is.
They barely understand Facebook, but I mean, they've seen my art, so like, they don't get it. Like, they're just like, why are you doing this shit? You know, like.
Wow.
But I mean, it's a whole generation.
Have they ever asked you why you're doing this shit?
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, they just kind of ask me like, you know, you should do something more productive or something more, I don't know. And like, I don't even explain to them, because, you know, it's like, can't teach an old dog new tricks type of deal. But I mean, that don't bother me.
How many years do you have under your belt actually being a photographer?
I would say like 3-4 years.
Oh, you're kind of new in the game.
Yeah.
Wow. And what would you say is more so your identity? Like, what's your bag? A graphic designer?
Yeah, graphic designer. I graduated in December, this last December.
Congrats.
As a graphic designer. I was more into, like, I wanted to go for art, but since I like more technology, digital work, I chose graphic design so I could, like, have control of my branding, and like, instead of paying someone else to do something, like I could do it myself. But I still kept that like art like in the background. And the cool thing about going to art school is like you just hang out with everybody from like artists that are doing 3D sculpture, like painting, all that. So it was kind of cool just kind of hanging out with everybody and just kind of bouncing ideas and getting like influence, and just like meeting people that were like willing to like work with me. Because in the beginning, it's kind of hard. I mean, I don't know if the listeners know my work or the style or whatever, but I work with people a lot, like models, and that like helps me like create like these little images I come up with. So it's like, it's kind of cool, like just like going to art school and meeting all these cool people, and like, great.
You were saying, what you do. I'll just go ahead and give the listeners a little heads up. Nacho Dung, I got attracted to his work. There's an erotic quality to it. I'm definitely going to put links to my favorite things that you've done down below in the show notes. So go ahead and check them out. They'll kind of rock your world. There's something sort of sexy and Hunter S. Thompson about it, and perverted, but also gorgeous. And there's nothing that kind of takes away from the artist. It's not trying to, what's the word? It's not exploitation. You know what I mean? You're really kind of preserving their dignity there. And when I saw that, I really sensed a maturity about you. And I was like, this guy's kind of a big deal. I don't know if he knows it. And I remember maybe a few months ago reaching out and being like, hey man, we got to do lunch or something. And you're like, lunch? You're like, okay. And I was like, oh man, I creeped this guy out. But, you said something that's really interesting to me. I don't want to project because I want to kind of hear more about you. But college didn't really work out for me. I went to STC, which is basically 13th grade.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't really count. No disrespect to anybody out there, especially STC if you're listening. I love you. Not really, but it didn't work out for me. I did it for 2 years. I saw There Will Be Blood when I was supposed to be going to class. I ditched class and I was like, whoa, no, what the fuck am I doing? This is what I've always wanted to do. Why am I doing this? But it sounds like college really worked out for you, and I'm not trying to be bitter about that. That's interesting. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole college thing was like, I didn't think it was for me because I first went to school. I went actually to SCC first to become a teacher because I like history and I wanted to be a history teacher. And I just didn't take it seriously, and like I just dropped out and just, started working as a cook at Outback Steakhouse and just kind of like doing the restaurant business thing. And so I dropped out of school, and then after a while I was like, fuck, I don't want to just be doing this shit all my life,
What is this shit?
Like cooking and like just working like a regular like job cooking and just barely, like I want to use my creativity. I felt like it was sucking my creativity out, and I wanted to do like more. I mean, like I did creative shit at work.
Like what?
Like,
where did you work?
Pretty fucked up. At Outback Steakhouse.
Oh, cool.
I would decorate the restroom. Have you ever been to Outback Steakhouse? Remember they have those big brown breads?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you cut them up, then you turn them around, and then you wet them, and they look like turds. So I would go to the girls' restrooms because we had personal restrooms in the back, and like just splatter shit everywhere and put like turds hanging out, whatever.
Wow. And
I would just like wait for like, I would do the boys and girls, and I wait for anyone who would come. And as soon as they come in, I would just record them, like going, oh, what the fuck? It was like, cause like there's turds like hanging, and
wow.
It looks real like poop, man.
Meaty.
Like, yes, dude.
Yeah.
And like I would decorate it, and I was like, fuck, this is like, I love doing that. I felt like alive, and like I didn't feel like I was just like, so like I missed the whole creating shit, the whole like, so when I dropped out, and then I was like, man, I want to go back. I need to go back to school, but like for what? I'm like, I want to do something like in the arts, something more like creative. And I saw that, well, UTPA at the time had a graphic design program. And I'm like, well, maybe I get into that. Because, I mean, like I always liked using programs like Photoshop and all that. Like before even going to school, like I had it like installed, like burned by some dude. And like I just fucked with it until like, I honestly, I just wanted to put like my friends' faces on like naked bodies, just didn't show them like,
Mhm.
that's how I really wanted to do. And so I learned the program and I learned how to do cutouts and stuff like that. And like that, I was like, maybe I should take it like seriously and like kind of learn more about graphic design. So like I went into it because I mean, graphic design is pretty broad. Like you could do a lot. It's not just about making logos or making business cards or menus. It could work like in film, like choosing like the fonts of the film, all that. Like it's a whole. It could go any like route you want, and so like I like that because I didn't want to just go into it like art, like and be like I'm just gonna be painting, or like I kind of wanted to be more digital. So I went back to art school. It was cool because like I was older and I took it more seriously, and then like I got to meet all these cool professors, and like they were just kind of showing me what they're doing, and then like I got to hang out with different students that were like they're still deciding what the hell to do, but that's how like you start networking and knowing different people, and that helped me in that sense that like I got like good connections like with an artist, so it's more easy to work with. What sometimes because some artists don't like to work with other people or like other artists. They want to, but for me, and I'm very like open and kind of like I just like to like bounce ideas off and just.
Why do you
work.
think that's important?
Because like it like unites, like you bond with someone, and then like you keep bonding with different people, and like if you rub off good like vibes on them, like that they tell people and then they tell people, and then you just get all these awesome people that want to work with you. And
do you encounter, at least in your history and your experience, do you encounter more people that are like-minded with like you when it comes to that, or more people kind of on the other side when it comes to collaboration?
More like on the other side. Like, I mean, they like what I'm doing, and they kind of throw like a leap of faith, and they just like want to be part of it. So they just be like, hey, like I would like to be part of your work if you need help or if you need a model or like, and it just kind of goes off like that, and then you work with them, and then they like it, and then it just kind of trickles down.
So it sounds like to me, just to take it back, it's important to me to know. It always fascinates me, whether if you're a musician or you're a photographer or you're a graffiti artist or a comedian, whatever. I like to know the moment where someone realized they were creative. I know it's kind of very self-aware, but I feel like creative types are a little too self-aware in a way. We're different. We kind of filter shit in a different way. Do you remember the moment where you're like, this is me. This is what I do. I'm creative, I guess.
I mean, back to the stories, whenever I first wrote them, the reason I wrote them, because I think I drew the characters first, like on the computer, and like rewind, like in '95, my parents first got like a Windows computer, and I first turned it on. It was in my basement, and I saw the little icon with the paint. I'm like, what's this? So I clicked it, and I opened, and it's like, whoa, lines, circles, and I start fucking with it until I start like creating like. My favorite thing was making snowmans and like making a background and stuff. I feel like that was the first time I was just like, I took a whole summer just fucking with paint and like just making all these like weird shit. I never saved them because I mean, there was floppy disk. I don't know what the hell was back then, but like, but I remember like when I first played with that computer, I was like, shit, like I could create stuff. like, and I was like, man. So like throughout like, from I think it was like 7th grade to like my senior year, like I always took like computer classes and stuff because I liked the whole like graphic part of it. And who knows? I mean, if I went to like an animation school or something, I would probably be doing something different. But I mean, since I was here, I had to kind of create my own little like world where I could like play and still use my creativity. And well, that's where I'm at now.
There's I don't know. I kind of feel like saying plus size model is like a dirty word. I don't think it is.
Nah.
But there's this plus size model that I know who's married to a poet as well that I know. Her name's Lily. I kind of want to have her on the show as well.
Yeah, I've worked with her.
I know you've worked with her, man. The art that you make is really kind of crazy, and no one else is doing it. How did you get there? Because now you have an aesthetic. Now you have kind of a signature. How'd you get there?
Well, I mean, like, going back to art school, I mean, you're taught to like draw nude models and like learn like the figure of the body and all that. And like I fell in love with it. I was like, shit, man, like the body's so like beautiful, and like I'm like that like inspires like my creativity. When I see a body, I want to like paint over it. I want to like change colors. I want to, but like keep the body form, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like I start doing that for like assignments. So because I took printmaking too.
What is printmaking?
Printmaking is like printmaking like old school style before like a printer. So you learn how to do like how people used to print back then. So you do different styles, like you print on like rock, you print on like metal sheets and stuff. It's real like props to all those people or the people in the past. I mean, it was a bitch, but I mean, like once you get it down, I mean, there's still artists that are still use that like style, and you can make cool stuff. But yeah, the professor was very like he was like, you have to create your own images. Like, don't just get some offline and then like, put it on there and try to print it. And like he really emphasized on like creating your own little. So I just start like photographing like nude bodies and stuff, making like landscapes and stuff. So I started doing that in printmaking, and then like when painting, you have to also draw the human form, and I just fell in love with it, and it's like, damn, I like this. It's like it makes me want to like create. So like I kind of just stuck with that, and I'm here right now, just still creating that. Like I mean, if I was into like trees, I would be drawing lots of trees, doing the same shit, but with trees. But right now I'm like going through my nude phase. I don't know if it'll fade away or I'll just continue evolving it.
I think it's beautiful, man. Have you ever done exhibits?
Yeah, like
I know for college, I guess you have to.
Well, yeah, in college, but like outside, like I had like my first like art show at Space 16.
Cool.
This was I think in February, and it went pretty well. Like,
do you sell any work?
Yeah,
that's great, man.
I saw a lot of work, and a lot of people showed up, so it was cool. Like,
my girlfriend does nudes. Actually, now that I think about it, that should have been the first person that came to my mind. It's because it's so normal to me. There's nudes hanging in my house, and so I have children, and they're used to that. So there's nothing perverted about it. Is there anything kind of deviant about yourself when it comes to the work? Because as a filmmaker, if I write a sex scene, sometimes I get aroused like writing this, you know. I'm chasing it as it's happening. It's just coming out, but I get turned on, you know, and I kind of feel like that's like a method writing sort of. I'm just like, why wouldn't I be turned on? Why wouldn't I cry if something makes me sad? It's just another impulse. Is there something perverted that you enjoy, something deviant about the nudes?
No, I mean, like I get that question a lot. It's like, how do you like do it, man? Like how do you like not get a boner when you're like in front of a naked person? And it's like, no, like like you don't see it like that. I mean,
are you kind of removed from it? Do you really look at it as an object?
Yeah. Like I remove, and it's like a subject matter, and it's like, how could I create something? And then you're focusing on like how light hits the body, how like lines, curves, like all that, and like it's very like when I'm working with people, it's like the way I'm talking to you, like it's just like you have to make the person feel comfortable to get like the good photo. So you can't be all like, you know, I don't know what's
creepy.
The word. Yeah, like I try to like not like, because a lot of people like what I work with have never done that before in their life, and they're just like you know.
That's super exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting, and like after a minute, you know, they realize that like it's okay, like, you know, I'm not just like staring at them like, oh my god, dude. Because I mean, like, because earlier tell
me about the first time that you basically, I mean, do you do this at your home? Do you have some sort of studio?
I have like
tell me about the first time when you dealt with a first time nude model that you're going to photograph.
Like personal?
Sure.
Like, okay.
Your first experience, I mean, how did you know how to direct them?
Well, I mean, like having like girlfriends or like, you know, they're kind of like your 24-hour muses, you know. So that's where like you like start learning like trial error type of deal, because I mean, if they love you, they'll support just laying there, like, you know. So I mean, but like once I use that like practice on like a new person, and the first time I worked with like professionally with, it was actually with two friends of mine. They're in art school as well, and so I already knew them. They already knew me, so it wasn't like that. I mean, like yes, they had a like little rush, but overall, they had a good experience, and I created some cool art out of it. So like, but yeah, like it's like I don't. It turns my mind on, not like my physical self. So like, I see it like when I see like a naked body, like
It's a mental arousal.
Yeah, it's a mental arousal. So like, once I'm capturing that, like I already want to start working. You know, like while I'm taking photos, or once I like know I have the shot I want, like I already just want to be like, okay, quit. All right, I already have my photo, like, and just start working.
Do you try to aim for one photo per subject?
No, I mean like I like to shoot like kind of just raw and just kind of like, because it takes a while, especially like if you're not working with a professional model, it takes longer for the model to feel comfortable and not have that stiff feel. Like, you know, once they loosen up and they're just like, you know, more relaxed, then I could go an interesting direction.
How do you get them there?
Well, I mean, it's just talking to them, and like I communicate with them the whole time, like, and you know, like we laugh about things. We just talk normal, like the way I'm talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
We just start talking, and then they just start talking, and then like they start opening up, and then like I bounce back, and then it's just real cool. Like they forget they're naked, and
I guess if you're authentic and if you're vulnerable, they have to be the same. They open up.
So like yeah, and then like it just, and then like afterwards they just they like thank me. Everyone I work with, it's like, wow, thank you so much for like making me feel good about my body, and like I thought like I didn't have a nice body, or and then once they see it like on the wall, like printed and stuff, they're just like, damn, like shit, like
what a good reward.
Yeah, and then like in the beginning, well, like most of the people I work with don't want people to know that they're like, so that's why I don't credit models. Well, certain ones.
Kind of to protect their.
Yeah, because I mean they're like, you know, they're nurses or like, like you know, like they don't want. Yeah, like average people that like, you know, they don't want their parents to know they did it. So like I respect that. So that's why like a lot of my art, you don't see the faces too much, or I blur it, or I
That's
liquefy
very true.
it.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, and then like, well, like let's go back. I should have mentioned this earlier, because you said like my work was like erotic and perverted, but I don't see it like that. I see it.
I'm projecting.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I see it like not sexualized. Like I want people to look at it and appreciate it without getting sexualized. Like I don't want just because you see a naked body, it's like, oh, at least like that's sexy, you need to have sex with that, you know. Like no, like I want people to like appreciate it.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like, and like that's why I change colors and like, you know, just make it all loving all around.
I definitely don't feel, and I'm not trying to backtrack, but I really don't feel like it's pornographic.
Yeah.
It's erotic, and that's different.
Yeah.
It's a big distinction, and I think that's great. Now, it seems like in your life, a recurring motif is poop.
Poop, yeah.
Yeah, where is poop going in your future as Nacho Dung?
Poop. Like what I mean, like the name?
As far as your
style?
identity and your creativity, have you left poop behind, or is fecal matter kind of still a muse for you?
I mean, I guess I like, it's always gonna be around. I mean, like I like weird.
Because I kind of feel like the psychedelic aesthetic to your work is that the shit in a way?
I mean, I don't know.
Is that the yin to a yang?
No, I mean,
because at first time I saw your work, my initial contact with it was like, this guy does a lot of drugs, but it does not seem like that's the case.
Nah. Well, weed's not a drug, but I used to smoke weed back in the day. But
weed's not a drug.
Yeah, it's not a drug. No, I mean, like I guess I always liked that sense of humor, like the dirty, like real, like. And I grew up watching films like John Waters, like Pink Flamingo, like all that, you know, like trashy, very, you know, poor taste.
What's another one?
I like watching El Topo, Alejandro Jodorowsky.
Oh, yeah.
I like his films too. I like David Lynch as well. So like, I like watching those films, and I like the whole, like, you know, like atmospheric, but like John Water has more like fun, crude, like, you know, feel to it, and like David Lynch has more like, you know, atmospheric, very like. So it's kind of like a blend of all those, like from like films I watched, but then like from artists, like of course like Andy Warhol.
You're the Andy Warhol of the RGV.
The RGV.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
compliment.
so. You're the Nacho Dung, the
Yes.
one and only for sure. But I mean, there is a Warhol element to what you
Yeah,
do
like-
that is not purposeful. That is just kind of genetic. It's just in
Yeah.
your bones. It kind of feels.
Yeah, I mean, like I grew up watching like the art or like art history and all that. So you learn all the past masters and like Matisse. That's another artist, Henry Matisse. I love his use of colors, and he would fuck with colors like that wouldn't go together, and he made them like flow together, and
Wow.
I love that. So I try to use a little bit of that aesthetic in my work. So color's like a big like factor too.
This is something that always fascinates me with artists. When do you know when the piece is done, when it's finished?
I mean, sometimes it takes like months. Like sometimes I have like all these pieces that like are done, but I'm not satisfied with them, so I just save them. So then like, then I go back to them and I'm like, shit, this looks awesome, but it's still missing something, and I just put something on there. Boom. Oh, okay, that's all I needed. Like, you know.
What's an example of that?
Like filters, using like filters, lighting, like most of my work I do on the iPad, and I using like 10 to 15 different apps, and I just mix match.
Oh yeah, like what? Walk me through. Okay, you take a still. Do you feel like it's giving away your secret sauce?
Oh no, I don't mind.
So
like,
let's
I
say
don't mind
you,
sharing mine.
Awesome. Let's say you get the still. Let's say you shot in RAW. What's your process?
So then I upload it to the iPad, and then I
Why the iPad?
Why the iPad? Because I could draw on it, I could put filters on it, I could erase stuff, I could do everything.
Wow.
I don't feel I have the same like feel if I was like on a computer with a mouse.
That's kind of crazy how, you've been doing this for a while. You've been creative since the Windows 95 era, but your body, the instrument you use is the iPad, something that kind of wasn't
That's
around until the
evolving.
21st century.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like I use like the same like creativity, but now with like so much more. Like now you could do like you could do film, you could do like you could edit film, you could like do art and stuff, and just have it all stored here.
Do you know who John Lasseter is?
Yeah,
He did Toy Story.
yeah,
I think I heard him say, I'm going to butcher this quote, but he said, art challenges technology, technology inspires art.
yeah.
And I kind of feel like, you look at the electric guitar and Jimi Hendrix did something with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He saw the tool there and he turned it into something else. You do that with the iPad. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like I just enjoy doing it. I do a lot of my work when I'm taking a dump, so maybe that ties back to going backtrack with.
You do, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, well, before technology, I used to have a sketchbook, and I would put it right in the toilet. This was before phones, and I mean, well, there was phones, but like.
You see,
before touch
I
phones.
wasn't reaching when I said that it's a running motif.
Yeah,
that,
I guess.
that poop
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a part of your life.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, people poop every day, and
If you look at like the esophagus to the colon, there is a black hole kind of spatial quality to it that is universal.
Yeah.
So it's not unusual.
Yeah. So like I would keep.
It's in Mother Nature.
Mother Nature. It's natural. So I would keep these books. So I have all these sketchbooks, and I would have like Sharpies there, because I mean back in the day when people would take dumps before like everyone's on their phone now, people would like either read books or just read a magazine or newspaper or just kind of look around, just look at your bathroom surroundings or whatever. So I was like, I need to like people poop a lot, so it's like you need to do something creative during that time because you're just wasting it, just sitting there pooping. You could be doing something with your hands. So like I would sketch and shit. So I have all these cool like funny like horrible drawings, but they're fun, and I use colors and use Sharpies, and they evolved as I like So I have like 3 or 4 books. Like I would have a book a year, and I like that feel that like I could draw like when I'm pooping. I guess that like made sense with the iPad because it's like the same, but now it's digital, and like you don't have to worry about finding ink or.
Do you get pink eye often?
No.
No? When's the last time you got pink
Oh
eye?
my God, I don't know. It's probably like when I was in middle school, high school.
All right, I'm just making sure. Just want to make sure you're being safe.
Safe.
So what have you done in 2016 that is worth noting? I mean, obviously you graduated in December.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Congratulations again.
Yes.
What have you done this year? I mean, I think this is the year. I may have discovered you last year,
Uh-huh.
but I mean, you're kind of making waves.
Yeah. I mean, I'm working with so many people. Like I have people lined up. Like actually, I'm actually gonna shoot this afternoon. So like I have so many people that I'm working with that like I don't like I'm trying to put out stuff. So I'm not creating as much. I'm like just working with so many people and storing, and then I'll go back to them.
You kind of like archive things.
Yeah, I keep and then I go back to them, because I mean like I usually when I shoot, I like if I get inspired right away, I just as soon as I'm done, I just upload them and start working on them. Other times I just kind of store them and then wait until like I get inspired again, and I go back to them. And so yeah, so like
That keeps it fresh. It doesn't
yeah, it
really
keeps
keep
it fresh.
contrived or
And
anything.
I try not to like use the same model like back to back. Like I make like 3, 4, 5 different art pieces, and then I make another one with a model. So it kind of like, you know, and I work with like everybody. Like I recently started doing males too, so I've been doing couples.
I don't think I've seen any penises in your work. Just
Yeah,
yet.
they're there. You just have to look hard.
I'm gonna look way harder.
Harder.
That's cool.
Yeah, so like that's opened like another door to like couples or like just like girl boy models.
Can I ask you a weird question?
What?
Do you believe in God?
Do I believe in God? Like I believe in like there's something. I wouldn't say like the word God.
In your deepest moments where you feel like you got there, what did you call it?
I don't know. It's just like more like of like spiritual, kind of like you sense it. You know, I wouldn't like to put it like in words. It's more like you feel it, and you know, there's something out there and you know, it's good.
I ask because, you know, you have a fascination, a curiosity, a relationship with the human body. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure with animals out there as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, their form, the curvature, you know, evolution or whatever you want to call it. We've adapted to this earth, to this
Mm-hmm.
environment, and it kind of created the human body.
Mm-hmm.
There's something beautiful about that and how we got here. You know what I mean? Do you find elegance, say, in a pair of testicles, like in a scrotum?
I mean,
It's obviously not as elegant as
Yeah.
a woman's bosom
yeah.
aesthetically, and I think
But I
I think
mean-
that's across the board. Most
Yeah.
people would agree with that.
Yeah, but I mean,
it-
like different folks for different strokes. I mean, like some people find that like, you know, fascinating. But I mean, like yeah, in general, I mean, like the body is just fascinating, and like the inside, the outside, everything. You know, everyone has their unique body.
Do you contemplate how it got here?
No, I don't. I don't really like go into that. I mean, I'm just happy that we're here. We're like, you know.
I there's something holy about what you do,
Mhm.
the work, the product.
Yeah, I mean, it makes people feel good. It makes people.
It's celestial.
Yeah.
It's holy.
Yeah.
It's erotic. It's beautiful. It's like you're creating mountains out of bodies, out
Yeah.
of silhouettes, even sometimes.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, I just love nature. I love landscapes. I love like, you know.
What's your favorite animal?
The animal, let's say, I don't know.
Aesthetically, maybe.
Aesthetically, I mean, I don't really use animals. I mean,
You don't see a rhinoceros and you're like, wow.
yeah, when you see it in person, you're like, shit, that's fucking great. It's,
Yeah.
but like, I wouldn't say I have like a personal like. I mean, lion. I like lions, growing up.
See, I have a 2-year-old girl,
Mhm.
and I like watching her impulses kind of take over. And when she sees a puppy, she knows that it's safe in a weird way. If she sees a cat, she knows that thing is like it's looking in me, and I
Yeah.
have a weird feeling about that. I like that instinct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's something about the lion that's just like you have to bow.
Yeah.
You have to bend the knee.
Yeah. Just
Do you have
like
kids?
Stuff. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How many?
3.
Which one's your favorite?
All of them.
Yeah?
But the smallest one's super cool.
Boy, girl, boy?
They're all girls.
All girls.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool, man. What are the ages, if you don't mind?
15, 14, and 9.
9. Wow, man. You live with them?
They live with their mom. We separated.
You see them often?
Yeah. I see
That's
them
cool.
every
That's got to be
weekend.
fun having Nacho Dung as a dad.
Yeah, and their friends think I'm cool, but they think I'm weird. 'Cause
I bet.
I'm the dad.
Yeah, you're always going to be weird.
Yeah.
Was their mom an artist?
No, she's a chef. She's a cook.
One could say that's an artist.
But yeah,
I did a profile on a cook and seeing them, their ingredients, it's like chemistry.
Yeah, no, it is.
I didn't even know what the fuck cilantro did until I talked to a cook.
And
And it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Parsley, that shit's nothing to be fucked with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really cool. Do you have a special lady in your life?
Yeah, I have my girlfriend. Her name's Amy.
Cool. How long you guys been around?
8 years.
8 years. You gonna put a ring on it?
No.
Not really into it?
No, we're not like into marriage and all that.
That's good for you. You got it all figured out. She's obviously, you've been doing this forever. She totally gets.
Oh yeah. Like she's a writer, so she's a freelance writer. So like, she met me like during, like she knew I was in doing art stuff, and
Does she ever help with your business?
Yeah, like sometimes she helps me like during the shoots, or like holding lights, or like just just being there in general.
Wow, man. Well, I bet a lot of people tell you that you're down to earth.
Me?
Yeah. You're really chill, man. I had a kind of completely different idea about you. It just goes to show, like, you can't judge an artist by their work,
Yeah.
like Woody Allen. You see his movies and they're kind of so great, and you hear this person and you're just like,
Like nah.
I don't know, but there has to be a separation there. You know what I mean? I feel like people judge my stuff all the time, and I don't care about the audience when it comes to film. I don't know. It's not up to me, because whatever I intended, there's going to be 100 different interpretations to that, and I don't have an authority over that anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where's Nacho Dung going?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna stick around here in the valley
Why?
because of my daughters until they start college and move on, and then I'll probably go somewhere a little more art oriented.
Like what?
I really like Seattle area.
Have you ever been?
Yeah, I was raised in Washington.
That's right.
So like I really like that area because I mean the weather kind of sucks, but I mean the scenery is gorgeous, and like I want to start doing more like outdoor, like shooting outdoor, because most of my work is indoor, like in a studio or like.
True.
So I want to start experimenting, like shooting outdoors, like in badass, like majestic sceneries, and
Yeah.
and then like maybe I don't know if I'll still like funk it up with like the colors and all that, or I don't know what direction I would go, but yeah, I want to go somewhere where there's more like more shit's happening, more outdoor activities, more like because I feel like, I mean, the valley's awesome, I like it, but I wish there was more outdoor shit you could do.
Like what?
Like
I totally agree.
Hiking, like mountains, like just like finding places where you could hang out outside and like not be eaten by mosquitoes and just be melting. But I mean, that's the charm of the valley. It's rough, but like it's so rich in culture. And I mean that, like, the reason I also do a lot of work is because like I want people to kind of get inspired to like do shit. Like when people tell me like, oh shit, you're based from like here, the valley. It's like, yeah, and it's like I want people to be like, hey, people could do cool shit down here. Like you don't have to go to bigger cities to like do awesome stuff. So like
the valley has a lot of gems, a lot of diamonds in the rough here. I've seen great artists come from here, leave here, but also there's some that are here right now that are incredible, and the selfish person in me wants them to stay here to represent for that young crop. There's so many 16, 17, 18 year olds that are hungry, that are so blissfully naive, you know what I mean, and they have such a future ahead of them. I want to see them be able to have enough thick skin to get raped along the way and still be here. What would you say to those kids, that want to be a Nacho Dung, that want to be one of a kind, that want to be creative, but people are telling them, the conservatives here in the valley are telling them there's no money, there's no future, there's no purpose.
No, I mean, I would tell them like the whole world's in your hand. You have a phone, you have to connect to the internet, so you don't need to go like to Paris or whatever. Like, sure, it's nice to go like see other, like travel a lot, but take all that, bring it back, and then like create something unique. Like take all your influences and use that to create something unique, and find something that you like. You know, if you're like drawing, you like painting, you like singing, you like, you know, whatever you're into, it's like, but like have a creative like force behind it and make it unique, make it yourself, and don't feel like no one, that you can't make it because you're living here in the valley and there ain't like, you know, shit to do here. But there is, you just have to find it. Like right now I'm trying to look for locations here in the valley to shoot like outdoors and stuff. So you just have to kind of like, if you're hungry, just fucking do it, and don't feel like you can't do it because you don't have like money, you don't have just excuses. Just do it. Like start off in your room just drawing or whatever you're into, and just keep doing it until people start noticing and then they not notice you because, you know, you're making so much crap. And that's what I'm doing right now. I mean, like I just try the art scene's getting kind of, you know, like it's getting bigger in the valley, which I like. I like what Harlingen's doing. Have you been to like the Harlingen?
Yeah, Harlingen scene is kind of, it's like its own little snow globe right now.
Yeah, I think it's probably like the best one now.
Wow.
And in Bronzeville has like a pretty badass scene.
Why do you think that is?
There.
Why? How did that happen?
I don't know. I mean, well, the thing is, like, I guess, like the location, because they have all these like buildings there.
Did McAllen get neutered somehow?
I don't know what happened in McAllen, but like everyone knows that like it sucks, like the art walk here and all that. Like I guess it got like too family oriented, or I don't know.
Safe? Do you really think so?
Yeah, that like, you know, you need to have like more adult, more like you need more interesting art than like just the regular, you know. I mean, not to knock that, like that's fine that they're doing family things, but I mean like for like my work, I couldn't be able to show my work there because like the valley's very conservative and very like they see nude body and they're like, oh, that's pornographic, like, you know, so they sexualize it. So like I can't really show it because, and I don't want to like, you know, make parents or like, you know, like uncomfortable with their kids. But I mean, but I do want to open the minds here and be like, you know, like look at nudity in a positive way, not in a sexual way. So I mean, that's why I use social media and all that, and it's been pretty good. I'm glad I haven't been like blocked or anything, because I know like Facebook and Instagram and all that, they're very sensitive with like nudity. And I haven't been reported, which is nice because I'm still making all this stuff.
I think Tumblr's kind of,
Tumblr's
you
cool.
do anything you want there.
But I feel like most of my followers are like on Facebook and Instagram. So
yeah, the Brownsville scene's kind of happening. Harlingen, that's true. I'm a Donna guy.
Donna.
So no matter where I go, I have to travel. Whether that's
yeah.
McAllen, Mission, Brownsville, Harlingen, whatever it is, I got to go travel, which is cool because if you look at like Austin, from the north side to the south side, that's basically going to Brownsville to McAllen or something. It's the same shit.
Yeah.
You know, one of the last things I want to ask you, and you've been great, man. You really opened my mind, and I'm really happy that you called my bluff. You know what I mean? And thank you for being here. In college, or you know, trial by error, how did you learn how to protect yourself in terms of the business out of what you do? You know, in terms of monetary transactions and protecting yourselves, and you know, money can be a touchy issue for some people, especially down here, because the valley has a lot of people have negative associations to, oh, people are cheap, there's no money, and this, that, and the third. What would you say to the young and up and coming artists here in the valley, and even some that don't really know what to do there? Sure, you're creative and you got the skills. I think most people kind of need a business sense as well.
Yeah.
How did you get there, and did that come from college, or did that come from some other place?
Well, I mean, like, yeah, a little bit from college, but the whole approach, like for me, it's like I don't pay my models, and they don't pay me, but I hook them up with like a final frame piece, and that's for free. and then whatever I create, we sign contracts and like they give me the rights to like sell their image or whatever. And then that's when I have like art shows and stuff.
How did you know how to protect yourself there? Was that through college or?
Like that and like kind of
to draw
like
up a contract. Some people don't even know that.
Yeah, I mean, like you have to like document everything and make sure like, you know, the models are over 18 and that they're cool with you like messing with their image and it's gonna be like published like online, and then like you make sure that it's not like gonna be like a pornographic type of like that you're not gonna use their images like in pornographic purposes. It's all like for art purposes, and it's on the contract, and they get a email of the contract with all my information, and vice versa. And I have all their information, so like that keeps everyone safe. So like in case like they like if somehow someone's like, hey, they posed naked, whatever, but it was like done professionally. It wasn't like, because you know with the whole like shit that's going on right now with Donald Trump's wife, what's her name?
Who cares?
Who cares? But anyway, everyone's all like slut shaming her because she posed nude back in the day.
That's not cool.
Huh?
No one should slut shame her.
Yeah, I know.
No,
and it's
cool.
like that's not cool at all, because I mean like
it doesn't matter who her husband is or if she's a dumb cunt.
Yeah.
Like her body, that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, I mean they're tasteful and they're like nice and stuff, but I mean like, yeah, I was like, even though I'm not like a Trump supporter or anything like that, I'm like that's fucked up. They shouldn't like, you know, shame her for posing nude, whatever.
100%.
So yeah, so that's why like I always like do contracts and stuff to make sure everyone's on the same boat and they understand like that, you know.
Well, you brought up Trump. With your work, like you said, it creates waves. It's provocative. It's something inherently political with that. People are going to say, what's your agenda? What's your angle? What are you trying to do here? My kids, somebody think of the children. This isn't Christian, all that stuff. There's something provocative about your work. What do you defend it? Does the work speak for itself?
Well, I mean, like, I wouldn't want to like engage in that. I mean, if they want some kind of explanation, like on a personal level, I would explain it to them. But like, I'm not about like, you know, like I'm trying to liberate the valley and make them all heathens here, you know. No, it's really just down about like making people feel good about themselves and people looking up to. I get a lot of like messages from like random people. They're like, thank you for like using like bigger models or like, you know, like models that look like me, like, you know, not just like skinny girls or whatever. And they're like, thank you, like, you know, that made me feel so good about myself and everything. And
that's wonderful.
Yeah, and if it, you know, I want people in general that like, I wanted to look at my work and be like, hey, you know, like I look like that, like I could be beautiful, look good and feel good about myself and have that like strong mindset. So like once they go out there in the real world, they're confident and they're stronger and like, you know, they could become something awesome without with that confidence and without feeling like bad about themselves, or, you know. So I hope my work shows that.
It does show that, man. And you as a person, you know, my name is Knives Monroe, and a lot of people say, is that your real name? Is that the way you were born? Like Knives, like Cuchillo? I hear the same shit all the time. And, you know, I always tell people, you know, I wasn't born Knives Monroe. I became Knives Monroe. And I know that you weren't born Nacho Dung. You became Nacho Dung. You created this motherfucker. Yeah. And you're a very humble person. You're very inspiring. You know, where, you know, I asked you this earlier, you know, where you're going, where do you want to go? You know, 10 years from now, Mija is already in college. She's doing her own thing, you know, you're out. Yeah. You clocked out. You're like, thank you. I did my job. I'm out of here. I'm going to go to Seattle now. Are there any people out there that you want to work with? Is there anything you want to leave behind here in the Valley before you go? I mean, where do you see yourself in 10 years? That's such a big question because technology, you're going to be fucking around with holograms and virtual reality by then.
No, I mean, like, well, I mean, I just want to, I mean, I'm always going to be around the art scene, creating and stuff. So, like, no matter what, like, if it's, like, making, like, a poster for a movie or, like, making clothes or, like, just, you know, anything that, like, if someone, a designer likes my style, I could incorporate that like in a t-shirt or like in shoes, or like for me, like I don't have nothing specific. I won't say like I just want to just do this for the rest of my life. Like I feel like like just connecting with people and like throwing good vibes out there, it'll come back like a full circle. And then like someone that wants something like in that style, it's like, I know this dude, he does weird shit, check him out, you know. And then, you know, you network from that. So like like I said, like with graphic design, I go anywhere, you know, like, and I like to keep that open. So like I'm happy to do whatever, you know, like if they want a book cover, music video, or anything, you know. But I'm always gonna be like surrounding myself by creative folks, or like showing my work, displaying it, you know, in like in bigger places. Hopefully get some of my art like in big galleries or museums and stuff. For sure. But like leaving the valley, like I want to leave like before I leave the valley, all the work I created here, I want to make a book. And what I want to do is just have it published and stuff here, and like just so I could like spread out here amongst the people. And I have these other projects before I leave the valley. I don't know if I should say it yet because it's still in the works, but it has to deal with valley foods, nudity, and a cookbook.
Wow.
So
all in one thing?
All in one thing.
Wow.
And it's gonna be like the idea was like valley foods, what's like unique. I'm still doing research on that, but like basically like the weird shit people eat in the valley. Like make it a cookbook, show people how to make it, but it's photographed like on nudes. So like wow. So say like hot Cheetos with cheese. Right. And then add a nude model.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah. Can we pre-order this already?
So it's in the works. And then like another one, you know how like the Japanese have the sushi and the nude models? Yeah. I want to do one, but like with a botana.
I'm in. That sounds lovely.
And like shoot it very vibrant, very like saturated. Yeah. Because how like rich the culture is down here. Oh yeah. So that's my next big project that I'm working on, and I already have the people that are down to work with me. That's so huge. Like, and then the thing is, I could design the book, and like I get to control like the whole, you know. Oh yeah. So I feel like it would be interesting just here in the valley, because it would just be like, what the fuck, you know, it's our food, but totally. You know, but it's shot like with nudes and all that. But I feel like the outside world would be like, that's interesting, because they're like, what the hell, gummy bears with chamoy? What the fuck's that shit? You know? Oh man, that's only in the valley. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we're working on that right now. So maybe by the end of this year, I'll have everything set and the style I want to shoot it, and so I guess look out for that in the future. That's so awesome. It's still in the works. So yeah. That's great, Nacho. So last thing, where can people find you on the internet? What's your social? On the internet, just like on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, all that. Just Google Nacho Dung, Nacho D-U-N-G, Dung, in case those people don't get. I'm working on a website because I have like my graphic design regular, but like I want to make a Nacho Dung, like official one with like different bodies of work and like, styles and all that. So I'm working on that as well. So, but like for now, just all social media, Nacho Dung. Awesome. If you ever need a male model, I'm sure people kind of troll you with that. Yeah. But it would be honored to be painted by you, man, in whatever shape or form. Yeah. I have a hideous penis, so I feel like you could really work with that. I'll make it look good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, man. Well, thank you. Lovely, man. 53 minutes? Nice. Cool. Good stuff, man. You feel alright? Yeah. Hopefully you don't feel like he fucking buried me. No, I mean, like, those good questions. That's cool, man. You really blew my mind. Yeah. It's just, you know, that's good. I mean, to kind of share. Hopefully I didn't sound too douchey or anything. Not at all, man. No, really. The only people that I think are like, ugh, and everybody gets bad vibes are those that aren't really artists. Yeah. You know, there's some people that are like pains in the ass that you just have to deal with. You know what I mean? They're hard workers. What I mean is like they're hard to work with. But there's some people that aren't in it. They're in it for like a quick buck. Like for those filmmakers that like they just want to take money from people. I'm just like, why are you making movies to do that? That doesn't make any sense. Like go to school and be a doctor or something. Like, don't be a filmmaker to make money. That's not what it is. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. Like for me, it's not really about. I mean, yes, I should have said that, but I mean, like to make like a living off my work, that would be ideal. But like I mean, I don't like. Yes, I sell stuff, but it's like when I have art shows and stuff, or like actually, like it's not like just people are just buying it all the time. Because down here in the valley, like even if they buy it, like they wouldn't know where to put it, you know. Like unless they live alone and they're independent, you know, like
Yeah,
so like I'm looking for like an older crowd.
But keep in mind that I think this new gen gets it.
Yeah, the new gen
You know,
gets
I
it.
saw this survey where they interviewed like 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and 50% of them identified as not straight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a whole new open-minded spectrum going on in
Yeah.
this whole new gen, and I feel like they're the ones that are going to hang up Nacho Dung stuff.
Yeah,
For sure.
but I mean, yeah, people like do buy it, and I'm glad. And it, like most of my clients are girls that buy the work.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of cool. And then like most of the likes are like from girls.
Oh yeah, but
So
like,
it's-
what's the percentage? 70 maybe?
Yeah, I would say like 70, 80, like.
Wow.
And it's cool because I mean like it's just I'm working with all these people and
Women are
it's
far
great.
more open-minded.
Yeah, and you know it's pretty rad. I mean like I'm just like continue working with people, and when I work with someone, like 2 people sprout from that person I work with, and then
Yeah.
it just kind of triggers.
That's how
down.
it works, man. It's like working out. It's
Yeah,
reps.
yeah.
You don't magically get where you want to be
Yeah.
and not work hard at it.
Yeah.
And not try to give that value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really all I want. I don't make any money off the podcast. You know, it's just I really got sick and tired of people saying the valley sucks.
Yeah.
You know, there's no this, that, and the third people here, and it's just like I know that's not true. I see them all the time. Now it's
Yeah.
time to record it. You know, I think if your life's worth living, it's worth recording, and I kind of just want to put that out there. If you get one client out of this, it was worth it.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I mean, other than me, of course, but
Yeah.
that'd be
No,
cool.
I mean yeah. I mean that's what it's all about. Just kind of sharing stories and
Yeah,
helping each other out.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, man, I don't want to take up any more of your time. Thank you again for being a man of your word. You know, there's 60% of people fake, you know, and I get it. I hate this whole, and I have kids too, so this whole I don't have time stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I do more in 30 minutes than people do in a day
Yeah.
because I have to. You know what I mean? The multitasking
Yeah.
and shitting thing that comes from being a parent,
Yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. So I got a lot of mad respect for you there, man. And you know, if you have iTunes or SoundCloud, it's going to be on YouTube too. Actually, I should cut the video.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, the whole thing got recorded.